Hi, Cancer. This is LostTwinTarot. My name is Colette. If you've never viewed me before, Cancer, this is going to be your weekly reading for the week of May the 13th through the 19th. Cancer, this is for Sun, Moon, and Rising placements. Just take the pieces that resonate and leave the rest. Cancer, when I was meditating on your cards, I feel like some of you could be disappointed, or you could be disappointed in maybe falling back into an old habit, possibly the week of the 13th through the 19th. Feel like you could be praying or meditating or really trying to keep the faith or that strength. Maybe you could be feeling a little bit weak in something. There could be something that, or possibly taking a time out. I think there could be something, maybe like an anniversary or something that maybe happened the week of the 13th or the 19th or around there before there, or maybe the week before or after there. And it's a reminder or a trigger. There could be maybe some clarity or a truth or some sort of message that you could be sort of picking up, maybe receiving or interpreting in your own way that's making you fall back into an old habit. And it doesn't have to be, it could be anything. Maybe, I don't want to say maybe, it could be some sort of addiction pattern. And it doesn't have to be drugs or alcohol per se, but it could be self-sabotage. It could be uh, it could be any type of thing. Spending money. It could be with multiple partners. It could be really anything. But I feel like you're trying to keep your boundaries up. I do feel like you're protected. You had other good cards coming out. But I feel like it could be you're not sure you have the Temperance card coming out on the bottom. I think you are just not sure what happened in this past relationship environment, whatever this is for you. I think you have been getting back on a good path, but this could just be one of those things that is stirring up some energy for you and it's making you a little bit uneasy that week. Maybe it's this person's birthday. You have the Empress, the Three of Swords, the King of Swords, the Nine of Swords, the Five of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. You have the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom. With the Empress, you have the Emperor. That could represent sometimes it can represent your parents or divine counterparts. With the Three of Swords, you have the Seven of Swords. With the King of Swords, you have the Hermit. With the Nine of Swords, you have the Chariot. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands. And with the Four of Wands, you have the Ten of Swords. I'm also just going to pull a couple of these Lenormand cards out for you. You have the Whip, conflict, debate, hard work, abuse, pain, physical activity. You have the Cross, duty, burden, big problem, grief, religious, and fate. This doesn't have to be recent. This could be from the past as well. And you have number 33, key, unlocking, answer, destiny, openness, solution, fulfillment. And the other numbers were 11 for the Whip and 36 for the Cross. So let's get into this. You have Emperor and Empress. So this can represent divine counterparts. This can represent your parents as well, Cancer. You could be really depending on your parents at this time, or this can be that you had a falling out with your parents. This can also be, take it how it resonates, it's going to be different for all of you. But since these cards are next to the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords, to me this represents that you had a falling out either with you and your partner or with your parents in some way, or maybe one of your parents. You have the Three of Swords and the Seven of Swords. I feel like you're definitely grieving over some type of, this definitely could be a liar, cheater, stealer, or they might not have been a liar or a cheater or a stealer, but you could have felt like your heart has been broken because you feel like something has been taken from you emotionally. Maybe you feel like you had a parent who was really negative around you. They were maybe narcissistic and they took a lot of chances from you. Maybe you feel like whenever you said, "Hey, I really want to do this with my life," they always naysayed it and really put you down in a lot of ways. And maybe because certain things are coming up the week of the 13th or the 19th, it's bringing up a lot of that emotion, something like that. With the whip, it says conflict, debate, hard work, abuse, pain. So maybe you've been really doing some hard work on yourself to try to overcome that abuse and that pain. And it's almost like a whip. It's been just like really just whipping you in a way. And I mean that with all due respect as well. It's just been a lot of pain. And maybe some of you have endured that pain. Next, you have the King of Swords and the Hermit. Now, the King of Swords is all about learning. He's almost like a mastery of his. He's a. He's almost like a master of everything he's learned, but he's also a harsh judge. Now, in a way, I feel like if you've gone through some of this pain, whether this is a parent or whether this is a past relationship, I feel like you're in this mindset of judging harshly. The King of Swords can be cold. Normally, Cancers they're forgiving in nature, but at the same time, once they've been hurt, they can be, they don't like to forgive as easy once they've been hurt. In my opinion, it's everybody's different, of course. But and I feel like that's kind of where you are. With the hermit, I feel like you've kind of done this journey. You're doing this self-care and you're keeping those boundaries up, like what I was saying about you when I was meditating on your cards. You have been doing this self-healing, and if this is sort of coming up in a way, take it how it resonates. You are being a little bit more judgmental with that King of Swords energy. You're trying to do the work on yourself, and maybe these people aren't doing any work on themselves, whether this is a past love, a past family member, a past friend, whatever this is for you. And this doesn't even have to be someone who has done anything really to like physically hurt you or just really mentally just kind of really done anything. I mean, this person could have stole money from you, whatever this is. With the number 36 across, it says duty, burden, big problem, grief, religious fate. This doesn't have to be a religious thing, but maybe you could be turning to your religion for taking a time out, like I was saying. Maybe you could be going into those bad habits of your shadow self because this person tries to take you to that negative place when you think about them. They take you to that dark place because they are a big problem. They are a grief in your life. Next, you have the Nine of Swords and the Chariot. The Nine of Swords is all about that repeating nightmare you're trying to get out of. But the Chariot is here to say that you are headed for a victory. You are trying to get out of it. You have been moving forward. But every once in a while, it's still that comfortable place that you remember. Sometimes when we know a certain feeling of pain, anxiety, sometimes it's just as strange as it is, it's a feeling that we know, it's a feeling that's comfortable, and it's all we know. So we keep going back to that because it's just how we see ourselves. We're used to feeling a certain way. We're used to having people treat us a certain way. And it's almost like when people treat us in a nice way, a fair way, it's almost like it's kind of puts us off. Like we're waiting for something bad to happen. Next, you have the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Wands. The Five of Pentacles is all about that feeling left out in the cold. It's also about not drawing attention to your weaknesses. And it's about feeling the financial setback. You could have had a combination of one of these, all three of these. The Page of Wands is all about that new excitement though. So where maybe in the past you have felt this feeling left out in the cold, you're trying to get out of this. And I feel like in the past readings you have been trying to get excited about this. The Page is a young energy. It's that early excitement about, I want to get excited about something. I'm excited about these new stages in my life. But this Five of Pentacles just keeps pulling me back in. I'm trying to get to this Six of Pentacles energy. Number 33, the key, you have unlocking, answer, destiny, openness, solution, fulfillment. And I think that's what you're doing. You're trying to get to this key. You're searching, you're looking for these answers. I think you know what it is that it is in the past. The hard part is just leaving it behind. And that's really for so many of us. Next, you have the Ten of Swords and the Four of Wands. This could have been a celebration that didn't happen, with especially with the Emperor and the Empress. Maybe you were supposed to get married to someone, or you thought you were going to get married to someone, and it didn't work out. Maybe you were recently divorced. Maybe you had a almost like a broken home. This can even be your childhood home. The Four of Wands represents the home space, and you are leaving it in the past with that Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords also represents betrayal, where you felt like this was a good place and you are feeling stabbed in the back, certainly. What do we have with the Emperor and the Empress for Cancer? You have the High Priestess, and you have the King of Wands on the bottom. Now, the High Priestess is all about that sacred hidden knowledge that's in all of us. It's all about that what's behind the curtain that we can't see. Sometimes it's hidden in our dreams. It's what's still to come. The King of Wands is all represent about that action. Sometimes the Queen of Wands represents the almost like the blueprint, and the King of Wands represents the actual house that is built after the blueprint. So you are actually taking action on what you want to do. You're thinking about these spiritual downloads, you're paying attention to that intuition, and you are a very intuitive sign, Cancer. So whatever this is with this Emperor and Empress energy, I'm sure you'll know depending on the relationship that's within your dynamic, whether you want to heal this, close this, put this boundary up, and just say, I'm only going to see this person at this time of year. I'm only going to talk to this person at this time, or I know what to do. It's going to be different for all of you. But that High Priestess is all about that knowledge that's within all of us. We just have to find it. What's the Seven of Swords and the Three of Swords? Thank you. I'll take both of them since they both want to come out. You have the Empress on the bottom. And you have the Four of Swords and you have the Three of Pentacles. The Four of Swords, she's resting. She's taking that time out for herself. Like what I was saying, you want to take this time out for yourself. Maybe some of you are just feeling like you need a rest. She's taking that time out, that self-care. The Three of Pentacles, maybe you're spending some more time with people that care about you, your friends, family that you call. Maybe they're not your blood by blood family, but your family that's like family, your friends, people that really care about you. You're spending more time with them when you really need them to get away from that heartbreak. So that way you can recover from that and really heal your own inner empress as well. So you can nurture your own self, nurture that empress inside you so you can continue to grow. I think with that Three of Pentacles as well, people are also acknowledging that they don't want you to slide back into any negative patterns, whatever that is for you. This doesn't even have to be a noticeable pattern where you're like, well, I don't have anything like that. I don't have any self-sabotage or anything like that. This could just be as simple as isolation or remembering and going back to that period where you were almost over or you haven't been talking about that time in your life and now you're like, oh, and then you keep going back into it all over again. With the Hermit and the King of Swords, you have the Three of Cups and you have the Hangman. The Three of Cups is all about, it can be about celebration, but it's also about healing. The Hangman is all about clarity. It's about sacrifice as well. And it's about where you are just kind of, I feel like you've just been kind of hanging there for a while and almost waiting for something to kind of break through to you and figure out why everything's been the way it is. And I don't think you're really sure and you're never really going to get all the answers. But with the Three of Cups, I feel like you are taking this day by day. You're healing with that Hermit card. And when I say healing, it's really almost like you are just living your life to the best you can and really just keeping yourself in that safe place, in that safe, happy place. Because I don't think we really understand until really almost just like recently, even myself, I don't think we realize how much people really kill our spirit and how much their energy really rubs off on us and really hurts our soul. With the Nine of Swords and the Chariot, you have the Nine of Cups and you have the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. With the Chariot, it's all about a victory. The Wheel of Fortune is all about being open to change. I think you're really headed for a turnaround. I think you're acknowledging that whatever this pain you could be facing that week, maybe it's just being triggered by it, you're acknowledging it and realizing that it is painful, it is hurting, but you're not in that place anymore. You're headed past it with that Chariot and you're headed towards this Nine of Cups feeling. That safe place. The Nine of Cups is all about a wish fulfillment, but it's also about a feeling of satisfaction. It's about safety. It's about security. And those are two words that are a big impact, whether we realize it or not. We hear wish fulfillment, which is like, oh, a wish fulfillment. Oh, I love to hear that. But when we hear the words safety, security, those are words that are like, oh, that that Nine of Swords doesn't feel like safety and security. It sounds like, kind of like that security blanket that doesn't sound, you know, he's not really happy in there. But the Nine of Cups, that sounds like that safe comfort feeling outside of that Nine of Swords. I hope that makes sense. With the Five of Pentacles and the Page of Wands, you have the Moon and you have the Two of Pentacles on the bottom. Now, this Moon card, the Moon sometimes represents confusion and illusion and not really knowing what you're doing. But with this Moon card, it also represents night and it also represents a short term thing. With this Moon card, I like because she's sleeping. You have that Nine of Swords card, but right after it, you have this Moon card, and she's sleeping soundly. That Moon card is smiling. She's laying in bed. She has, what is that on there? She has her cold cream, and it looks like a little, like, it says Snap One. I'm not sure what that is. maybe people, if there anybody who's a little bit older watches this, they might know. It says Snap One. Oh, I think they're hot rollers. They're rollers. But she seems really happy. So you go from that unhappy time sleeping in your bed to this much happier time sounding sleeping. There's sheep jumping over. And lastly, what do we have for? I'm going to take that one. You have the Four of Wands. I'll take another one. And you have the Six of Cups. You have the World on the bottom. So with the Four of Wands, you had the Ten of Swords originally, and then you have the Four of Wands coming out with the Six of Cups. And what I really feel like that's saying is that you're closing out maybe this old chapter of the Ten of Swords with the Four of Wands, and now you're creating this new chapter, and it's like she's by herself. This card has a group of people on it celebrating. And now you have this independent person on here celebrating, by herself. She's enjoying her life. She's enjoying her space. The Six of Cups is all about a feeling of nostalgia, a time where you felt really good. The Six of Cups is also about a blessing after a storm. And maybe you are recently single or anything like that. Maybe you are involved with a new person. Take it how it resonates. But I feel like you're saying goodbye to that old way of living or that old time, that old home that was no good. And you're making a new home, or you have been making a new home, and you're saying goodbye to that. So you have number 11, number 36, and number 33, if any of those numbers may resonate for you. But most importantly, you have number 33, the key, unlocking, answer, destiny, openness, solution, and fulfillment. I'm going to leave it there for you, Cancer. This looks like a really good reading for you. It definitely looks like you could be going through something in the beginning of the week and you're learning to close it out. But it looks really good for you. So thank you so much for viewing me today, Cancer. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Until then, definitely enjoy your week, and I hope to see you at the next read. Thanks. Bye.